What's up, everybody? So about a year ago, back in January, Mike Payne posted an article for PUCKETT about the top 100 cards of the 1980s. And it popped up on my news feed, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of go through my entire collection and see which ones I have and which ones I do not have. And thought it was kind of funny. And like I spent like days kind of going through, trying to find cards, seeing if I had them, going through commons. But anyway, this is what I was able to find in terms of what I have and what I don't have. So at number 100, and this might take a while to get through the entire list, the 88 Fleer Update John Schmaltz. Do I have it? Yes, I do. I do have the 1988 Fleer Update John Schmaltz, the Hall of Famer. So Mike Payne had this at the number 100 card. At number 99 was the 1981 Topps Harold Baines rookie. And unfortunately, I do not have the 81 Topps Harold Baines, but you can see in the background, I do have the 81 Fleer in a PSA 9, along with some other cards that did not make the top 100 list that I thought was... I thought these five in the background were kind of big snubs. I felt like they deserved to be in the top 100, but I don't have the 81 Topps, but I do have the 81 Fleer. Number 98 was the 1986 Fleer Mickey Hatcher. I looked everywhere for this card. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere in the boxes and boxes and boxes of commons that I have, but I couldn't find it, so I can't count it. At number 97 is the 83 Topps Willie McGee rookie. Again, couldn't find it. I thought it was funny what Mike Payne said about it. He said, great ball player for much of the decade. You know, for a time there, he really did kind of look like a human version of E.T. Thought that was great. At number 96, Joe Charbonneau. I might be saying that wrong. 81 Topps. So that, I guess he had it on the list because he was the 80 AL Rookie of the Year, and it was a huge rookie card back in the day. I don't have that card, unfortunately. At 95 was the 85 Topps Oral Hershiser rookie, which I don't have that card, but I do have... I have his Fleer card, which I think is a really nice looking card. I had the Donruss as well, but I like the Fleer the most, so I pulled that one out. At 94 is the 82 Topps Traded Ozzie Smith, which I don't own either. I guess this was his first card as a Cardinal, so that's why I got on the list. At number 93, I can't believe, for some reason I do not have this card, the 1985 Donruss 2 for the title. Dave Winfield and Don Mattingly. As a huge Mattingly fan, I don't know how I don't have that card. At number 92, again, another card I don't have, the 85 Fleer KIRBY PUCKETT rookie. At number 91, finally, a card that I do have, the 88 Donruss Mark Grace. Better believe I have that card. I have a lot of this card, actually, that I could have pulled out. I've always really liked this particular card, the 88 Donruss Mark Grace. All right, and at number 90 was the 1985 Donruss Dwight Gooden, and I do have that card in a PSA 10. Really like, actually just picked this up a couple months ago, I think. Picked it up in a PSA 10. I think I do have it raw, but it probably would grade to be like a PSA 4 or something like that. I didn't take care of it as a kid. At number 89, he had the 1988 Upper Deck Promo Wally Joyner, which, by the way, looking at this now, like, I don't know, it's from the 1989 Upper Deck set, or at least it looks like it is. Looks like the 89 Upper Deck card, but it's not. It's actually a 1988 Upper Deck Promo released to stoke interest in the company's inaugural baseball set. Wow, so that's crazy. Anyway, I don't have that card at number 89. At number 88 is the 81 Donruss Best Hitters with Carew and George Brett. Don't have it. At number 87 is one of the recent Hall of Famers, and I do have that card. It is the 88 Fleer Edgar Martinez, one of the greatest designated hitters of all time, without a doubt. At number 86 is the 1984 Fleer Glenn Hubbard. Again, another card that I looked everywhere for, could not find it. It's one of the best cards ever made with the gigantic, was that a python that he's holding in the background? So just a great card. Could not find it. Unfortunately, I do not. I might have it somewhere buried in the commons, but couldn't find it. At number 85, he had the 82 Donruss Diamond Kings, Pete Rose. So I'm just trying. Perez produced art was card number 1 of the very first offering of the Diamond Kings. Okay, so that's why Mike Payne had it on there, is because it was the first ever Diamond Kings card, I guess. At number 84 is a card that I do have. That is the 84 Fleer Darryl Strawberry in a PSA 10. I believe I picked this up last year. Just a beautiful card from the 84 Fleer set in a PSA 10. Next up on his list was number 83, Donruss Tony Gwynn. This would be a second-year Gwen. Don't have that card. At number 82 is a card I do have, the 87 Topps Mark McGwire. Who doesn't love this card? I mean, I would assume that pretty much every collector has this card. And by the way, I might as well point it out. I thought this was a big snub. The Jose Canseco was not, this particular card was nowhere to be found in the top 100. But I do love this. I actually like the Canseco better than the McGwire, but McGwire made the list at 82. But by the way, this is a Tiffany Canseco. Just wanted to point that out. At number 81 is the 81 Fleer Fernando Valenzuela. I do have that card, but right now it's off at grading with PSA, and God knows when I will ever get that card back. I just submitted that back in December, and I'll be lucky if I get it in December 2021 at this point. At number 80 is the 85 Donruss Tom Seaver with the White Sox at the time. At number 79 is the 1980 Topps George Brett. Again, don't have that card, so just showing you guys a quick image of it. At number 78 is the 89 Upper Deck Gary Sheffield, and you better believe I have that card. I have, of course, the Upper Deck, the 89 Upper Deck set. Anybody who collected in the 80s probably has the Upper Deck set sitting somewhere, probably collecting dust, but I do have the Gary Sheffield card, and looks very similar to the Griffey, the number 1 card on this entire list. At number 77 is the 88 OPC Delino DeShields. How it got on this list, I have no idea. So it says, either sports a full noggin or that hat is about 3 stories too high. Oh, I guess he makes a point that DeShields has that hat like sitting way high. But anyway, he's with the Blue Jays there. At number 76 is another really strange card, the 82 Topps Kmart MVP Maury Willis. So he has that at 76. At 75 is the great 87 Topps Rafael Palmeiro. So there's just the base Palmeiro that he has. And of course, everybody remembers him pointing his finger at Congress and basically saying that he never did steroids, which he obviously did. At number 74 was the 87 Donruss Barry Larkin, and I do have that card. And that is number 74 on the list. Really nice looking card. Always loved the 87 Donruss design. At number 73 is the 87 Topps Barry Bonds. Put it down there a little bit. There you go. 87. It's just the base 87 Topps Barry Bonds. Second year Bonds. At number 72 is the 84 Donruss Joe Carter. And again, another card that I picked up last year. Decided, of course, to get it in a PSA 10. Just a beautiful card. Really nice looking with the old school version of the rated rookie. And while I have that in front of me, I might as well show off the Paul O'Neill. Another guy that did not make the top 100, but I feel doesn't get enough love in this hobby. I love this Paul O'Neill. And Paul O'Neill was a huge part of the 80s and the 90s, so I'm surprised he doesn't get more hobby love. But anyway, Joe Carter and Paul O'Neill. Next up was, at number 71, was the 84 Nestle, Don Mattingly, that is a card I would love to get one day in a PSA 10, but maybe sometime in the future. At number 70 was the 82 Fleer Ripken. I do not have that card, which is probably a little surprising. At number 69 is the 87 Donruss Opening Day Barry Bonds Error. It's actually a picture of Johnny Ray. That is not Barry Bonds in that picture. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that card before. It's kind of cool. Very, very expensive and very rare. Expensive because it's so rare. At number 68 is the 89 Upper Deck John Schmaltz. And here it is. There's the 89 Upper Deck John Schmaltz. Again, part of that huge set from 89 Upper Deck. At number 67 is the 82 Donruss, the Chicken. And I actually have this card. I went digging for it. I was like, I wonder, I remember when Parlay J and I, when we were in Minnesota, we bought a box of 82 Donruss. We opened it together, and he got half the box, and I got half the box. I couldn't remember who got the chicken, and it turns out I got the chicken because it was somewhere in my commons. So I went ahead and threw it in a top loader since it's a top 100 card of the 1980s. At number 66 is the 82 Fleer John Littlefield Error. So, and he's pitching left-handed. For whatever reason, that is a top 100 card. I know another really rare card, very valuable card from 82 Fleer. At number 65 is the 87 Fleer Maddox. And of course, you better believe I have that one. 87 Fleer Maddox. At number 64 was the 85 Donruss Roger Clemens, which I do not have. For some reason, I thought I had this card, but I guess I don't. So anyway, 85 Donruss at Clemens at number 64. At number 63 is this card, and I was very surprised, you know, looking at this list more carefully, seeing Wally Joyner at number 63 on the top 100 cards of the 80s. And I remember Wally Joyner was a huge prospect back in the mid 80s, and I guess it kind of makes sense, but I went digging for, I had to dig pretty deep for this card, and I found it. 86 Donruss, Wally Joyner. At number 62 was the 88 Topps Tom Glavine rookie, and of course, pretty much any card from 88 or 89 I have, unless it's just a rare circumstance, so definitely got the Tom Glavine rookie. At number 61 is the 89 Bowman Griffey. Picked this up a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe not even. The 89 Bowman Griffey in a PSA 10. I have so many copies of this card, but they're all in awful condition because if anybody who collected 89 Bowman knows what I'm talking about. You'd put them in the 9-page holders, and then you'd stick them in there, and then they'd stick out, and they'd get all banged around. Like all of my 89 Bowman, like the corners are all just bent out of shape. So went ahead and bought this card, which may be a difficult card to get in a PSA 10. All right, at number 60 is the 88 Topps Traded Jim Abbott. I don't have this card, but I was a huge fan of Jim Abbott. Was a Yankee for a period of time, threw a no-hitter. Guy threw a no-hitter as a Yankee with one arm, which is just insane. And did it with the Yankees, which is really cool. Might have to pick up that card. At number 59 is the 87 Fleer Barry Bonds. And I do have that card in one of the few cards at this point that I still have in a screw down. One of these weird screw down, clear screw downs, which you don't see very often. But I do have the 87 Fleer Bonds. Nice looking card, except condition wise, except I'm sure you guys see the top here. It's a little, the edge there is a little bit of a mess. Otherwise, it would be a great grading candidate. But otherwise, it's just going to probably sit in that screw down for a long time. At number 58 is the 83 Fleer Boggs. I actually pulled this out of a pack of Rookie Explosion box recently. So I do have the 83. I think I do have another copy of this, but there you have it. At number 57, and you better believe I have this one, is the 88 Donruss Greg Jeffries. So, you know, got to have the Greg Jeffries. I have this. I have the score version. I have the Fleer version. For whatever reason, Mike Payne decided to choose this particular version. I probably would have gone with the Fleer or the Score, but he went with the 88 Don Russ version of Greg Jeffries. At number 56, and of course I have this, the 84 Fleer Don Mattingly, and I have that in a PSA 10. Absolutely love that card. At number 55, the 87 Classic Games Bo Jackson. So not sure why he chose this one. Bo Jackson. So because he's obviously because he's in a football jersey, but I guess this is a baseball card. So I guess that makes it a little bit unique. Number 54 is the 81 Topps Fernando Valenzuela. I unfortunately don't have that card. At number 53 is the 89 Upper Deck Randy Johnson, another card that I picked up last year, I think. Got this, of course, in a PSA 10. So there you go, have it. I have a couple versions of this card, but I didn't think any of them were worthy of submitting, so I just went ahead and bought it in a PSA 10. At number 52 is the 88 Score rookie traded Roberto Alomar. I looked everywhere for this card. I am convinced that I had this card at one time. I must have lost it along with the Biggio Score traded. I could not find it, so I guess I don't have it. So I'll have to put it on the does not have list. At number 51 is the 85 Fleer Clemens, which I do have, except it's in the case right now. Where is it? There it is. So I do have it. It's just in the case, so didn't feel like taking it out of the case, but there you have it. I do have the 85 Fleer Clemens. At number 50 is the 89 Donruss, the rookies Griffey, which I was really surprised was on the list of top 50 for the rookies Griffey. They didn't have the Fleer. They didn't, as you can see in the background, they didn't have the Fleer. They didn't have the Score. I don't think they had the Don Russ either, but for some reason he decided to put the Don Russ rookies Griffey, which I don't agree with at all. At number 49 is the 87 Don Russ Barry Bonds, and I do have that card. At number 48 is the 1987 Topps Tiffany. Oh, no, it isn't the Tiffany. Actually, it's the base. So the base 87 Topps Bo Jackson is what made it to number 48. I guess I wanted to point out that I do have the Tiffany too. So there's the base and the Tiffany. And of course, had to get that in a PSA 10. Look at that card. That's beautiful. That should be in the top 50, the Tiffany version. At number 47 is the 83 OPC Tony Gwynn. The regular Tony Gwynn is actually further down in this list. But for some reason, he picked the OPC at 47. 46 is the 81 Topps traded Tim Raines, which, again, I do not have that card. At number 45 is the 85 Topps Eric Davis, and I was able to find this card buried in one of the binders that I had. I was like, yes, I got it. 85 Topps Eric Davis. I didn't even realize, or maybe I forgot, he stole 80 bases in 1986. And then stole another 50 the second season. So he had a really bright career, especially early on in his career. So there's number 45. Number 44 is the 84 Fleer Update Pete Rose, part of the update set, which is really weird to see him in an Expos uniform. At number 43 is the 85 Topps Dwight Gooden rookie, which I guess I don't... Oh, I do have it. 85 Topps Dwight Gooden. Boom, I do have it. 85 Topps rookie of Dwight Gooden. At number 42, again, a card I don't have, the 83 Fleer Ron Kittle rookie. I guess he was a big rookie back in the early 80s. I didn't really start collecting until like 87, so I don't really remember the Ron Kittle hype. I might have been too young for that, but apparently that was a big rookie. At number 41, the 89 Topps traded Griffey, and I do have that, and of course got it in a PSA 10. It's a beautiful card. 89 Topps traded Griffey, and I've been looking at the getting the Tiffany one day. Oh, by the way, here's the Eric Davis Fleer, which I prefer over the 85 Topps. Just wanted to point that out. And there's the Griffey 85 Topps in a PSA 10. At number 40 is a card that I had to dig for. The 1981 Topps Kirk Gibson, and I was happy I was able to find it. There you have it, the 81 Topps Gibson rookie. And everyone will always remember that home run he hit for the Dodgers against Eckersley in the World Series. That's probably one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in baseball history. At number 39 is a card I talked about before, the 88 score Craig Biggio, which I do not have. At number 38 is the Topps traded Tiffany. They were very specific in this. The Topps traded Tiffany Greg Maddux, which I do have, the 87 Topps traded Maddux Tiffany in a PSA 10. So I was happy to pull that one out of the group. Number 37 was the Fred McGriff, the 86 Don Russ Fred McGriff. That is a card that I definitely need to own. I think I probably have the 86 Don Russ set now that I think about it. I probably have it, but I didn't pull it out, so I guess I lose. At number 36 is the 89 Donruss Griffey, which of course I have that card. I have probably 50 of these cards, and I've probably given away 50 at this point. So I have them. I've submitted a couple for grading, and I could never get better than like an 8.5, so I stopped submitting them. At number 35 is the 86 Topps traded Canseco. And of course, I have that card. At number 34 is the 84 Topps Darryl Strawberry rookie, which, bam, I have it. I have that card, the Darryl Strawberry. I actually had this as part of the 84 Topps set, so I just pulled it right out of the set. At number 33, I can't give myself credit for having it, but it's the 81 Fleer Greg Nettles. So the error actually has Craig on the back. And I have to admit, like, I still say Craig to this day because of this error. But it's Greg Nettles, I guess is the right way to say it. But on the back of the error, it says Craig Nettles. So I do have this card, but I don't have the error, so I'm not going to count it as a card I have. At number 32 is the 82 Donruss Ripken, and I do have that in an Beckett 8.5. At number 31 is the 86 Fleer Update Barry Bonds, and this is a really cool card because I had this in my collection as a kid, actually, and then submitted it to PSA, and it came back as a PSA 10, which is not easy to do. If any of you guys ever try to submit anything from your childhood collection, especially from the 80s, go ahead and submit it and see if it gets a PSA 10. I dare you. At number 30, the 86 Topps traded Tiffany Will Clark. I do not have that card, and again, I cannot give myself credit for it because this is not the Tiffany version. They were very specific. This is not the Tiffany version. This is just the base 86 Topps Clark. At number 29 is the 89 Fleer Randy Johnson rookie with the Marlboro sign in the background. Don't have it. At number 28 is the 81 Donruss Tim Raines rookie, and don't have that either. Number 22 is the 86 Donruss The Rookies, and bam, I got it. Just such a beautiful card. The 86 Donruss The Rookies, Bo Jackson. Just love that card. Would love to add the 86 Topps Tiffany Bo Jackson to my collection, but maybe one day. All right, number 26 is the 85 Topps Kirby Puckett, and of course I have that card. Got to have the Puckett rookie. And then to kind of go along with that is the 85 Topps Roger Clemens. So what the hell, I'll put them side by side. The Clemens and the Puckett 85 Topps rookie cards. At number 24 is definitely the most valuable card of my 80s cards in my collection. The 84 Topps Tiffany Donnie Baseball, one of the coolest cards. And I have, of course, have that in a PSA 10, which I've showed off couple of times on my channel. This is a very, very valuable card. But and maybe my favorite card in my collection. It's up there. It's like top 3 cards in my collection. All right, number 23 is the 83 Topps Wade Boggs in a PSA 10, and I have it in a PSA 9. He didn't specify grade in his list, so this is at number 23. At number 22 is the 84 Fleer Update, Dwight Gooden. I do not own that card. I actually tried to purchase it one time, and I don't know, I failed somehow. At number 21 is the 89 Upper Deck Dale Murphy Reverse Negative. Unfortunately, I do not have that card. Probably never will. Not a big fan of that card. At number 20 is the 84 Topps Traded Dwight Gooden. And I do not have that card. It's part of the traded set. That's definitely a card I'd like to get in the future. At number 19 is a card I do have. And there it is, the Bo Jackson, the 86 Topps Traded Bo Jackson. And I think I just mentioned it. Would love to get the Tiffany in a PSA 10 one day, but they are really expensive. So I'll just have to settle for the raw 86 Topps Traded version. 87 Don Russ Greg Maddux is next at number 18. And I do not have this graded, but I do have it as a raw version. Of course, 87 Don Russ Greg Maddux rated rookie. At number 17 is the 81 Topps Traded Fernando Valenzuela. I do not have that card. I think it might be one of the last cards. Oh, the next two cards, actually. So the number 16, the Bowman Tiffany Griffey, which is pretty random. I was surprised that this was number 16, just like the Tiffany version. That, and at number 15, the Ryan Sandberg 83 Topps Ryan Sandberg. I do not own 17, 16, or 15. But I think I own every single card from 14 to number 1. So let's see. So, oh, by the way, I do own the 83 Don Russ Ryan Sandberg. At number 14 is the 86 Topps Traded Barry Bonds. And, of course, own that card. I've been trying for the longest time to get the Tiffany version. One day I'll get it, and this is the 86 Topps Traded in a PSA 10. At number 13 is the 83 Topps Traded Darryl Strawberry, and again, have that in a PSA 10. And what the hell, I'll put these two side by side. Two really nice looking cards from the 80s, the Bonds and the Strawberry. All right, at number 12 is a card that I've submitted to PSA, and it comes back every single time is not meeting the minimum requirements on the size requirements on the card, but I do still have the card, even if it's a raw version of the Cal Ripken, the first ever Cal Ripken card, or the first Topps card for that matter. At number 11, of course, and of course I have this card, the 84 Topps Don Mattingly. So we just showed off the Tiffany version. This is just like the base at number 11. At number 10 is the 84 Fleer Kirby Puckett in a PSA 8 is what I have it in. I remember buying this at a show, and you can see it's a little off from left to right, but just always wanted to own this card and came back as a PSA 8. At number 9 is the 83 Topps Tony Gwynn. And there it is in a PSA 10. This is one of the cards that I picked up late in the year. I think I only showed it off as part of my like year-end kind of review. But here it is again, the 83 Topps Gwen in a PSA 10. Not a cheap card. At number 8 is the 86 Don Russ Jose Canseco. And of course, got to have that in a PSA 10. Beautiful card. I might even have this higher up on my list, but he had it at number 8. At number 7 is the 84 Fleer Update Roger Clemens. And again, have that in a PSA 10. At number 6 is, of course, the famous Billy Ripken F-Face card. There it is, the 89 Fleer Bill Ripken F-Face card. And there's the barrel of the bat and why it's such a huge card of the 1980s. At number 5, of course, is the Mark McGwire 85 Topps McGwire. I think I have this also in a PSA 9. At number 4 is, and this is a card that I actually just, I got this in like a pack, actually. I opened up a box of like Best of Baseball Leaf and got this in a PSA 8. I also have it in a BGS 7.5. At number 3 is the 82 Topps traded Ripken, which I would love to pick up in a PSA 10 one day, but for now, I actually got this also in a Best of Baseball, a Leaf Best of Baseball. It's like a repack product. So got that in a PSA 9. And, of course, number 2 and number 1, I'll just show them together. Here they are. Number 1, Griffey. Number 2, Don Mattingly. So the 89 Upper Deck Griffey, of course, in a 10. Don Mattingly, 84 Donruss, again in a 10. The top 2 cards of the 1980s, according to Mike Payne. And I have to admit, I agree with those top 2. And I actually pretty much agree with most of the top 10, maybe not in that order. By the way, I just wanted to show off a couple of snubs, just to show you guys some cards that I thought should be in the group, but did not make it. Matt Williams. I don't know how that didn't make it into the top 100. There's not a single Matt Williams in the top 100. How about Danny Ainge? Remember this guy? This is a famous basketball player that played baseball for a short period of time. I just think this is a cool card that should have made it into the top 100. How about Deion Sanders? Like, how did a Deion Sanders card not make it to the top 100 cards from the 80s? So I thought that was a big snub. How about Cecil Fielder? 86 Donruss Cecil Fielder didn't make the list. The Dave Stewart rookie. So no sign of Dave Stewart anywhere in the top 100. My boy, Tino Martinez. Of course, he had the 89 Bowman rookie, but no Tino anywhere to be found in the top 100. I always thought this was a really cool card that could have a chance at the top 100. This, 84 Donruss, Mattingly being the most famous card, of course, the second most famous card of the 80s. This is the second Donruss card. How about a Rick Sutcliffe rookie from the 1980 Topps set? I didn't feel like there was enough representation from the 80 Topps set, and there should be. The 83 Donruss Tony Gwynn. How about Lenny Dykstra? No sign of Lenny Dykstra in the top 100, which I thought was kind of disappointing. I mean, if you're going to have, guys like Delino DeShields in the top 100, you should have made room for Lenny Dykstra. How about the 89? No sign of Curt Schilling anywhere to be found in the top 100, which I think is pretty surprising. I have a feeling he might be the one guy that makes it into the Hall of Fame next year, and he is nowhere to be found in the top 100 of the 80s. And then finally, the biggest snub, of course, is the 89 Donruss Craig Biggio. He did have the 88 score Biggio, but to leave out the 89 Donruss Biggio is just a total shame. So there you have it, guys. All in all, in case you guys are wondering, I had 33 in the top 50 and another 24 in the bottom 50. So all in all, I had 57 of the top 100 cards of the 1980s. Just by looking through all my cards. I might have more, but I'd have to look around for them. So that's it, 57, 43 missing that maybe one day I'll have to go and pick up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.